The internet doesn't forget. Especially when it comes to messy reality TV scandals, the kind that mix love, betrayal, and humiliation into a public spectacle. And few names have been dragged through the mud as much as Arionne Curry, the woman the world knows as Martell Holt's longtime mistress. For years, she's been called everything under the sun: side chick, homewrecker, and most recently, concubine. That word alone became her scarlet letter, repeated so many times it started to feel like her name. But this time, Arionne isn't staying silent. After being mocked yet again online and accused of clinging to Martell's shadow, she finally snapped. Her latest outburst wasn't just a rant, it was raw, emotional, and drenched in years of pain. What started as another internet dragging turned into an explosive moment of truth that had everyone talking. Because behind the headlines, behind the insults and Instagram lives, there's a woman who feels cornered. A woman who once believed she was loved. And now, she's tired of being everyone's punching bag. But here's the twist: her fury this time didn't just come from strangers online. It came from someone much closer to Martell's world, and that's when everything spiraled. Years before her name became the internet's favorite insult, Arionne Curry was just a young woman in Huntsville, Alabama, confident, ambitious, and looking for love. She never imagined she'd end up in one of reality TV's biggest scandals. When she met Martell Holt, he wasn't just another man, he was charming, successful, and already a familiar face in the community. Martell had the gift of making people feel special, and Arionne was no exception. Their connection started innocently. At least, that's what she's always said. She didn't know the full story at first. Martell had a wife, a family, and a public image that screamed perfection. But by the time she realized who he really was, it was too late. She was already in deep. Their relationship went on for years, hidden in the shadows, while the cameras painted Martell and Melody Holt as the golden couple of love and marriage, Huntsville. They were the picture of success: beautiful kids, luxury homes, and a power marriage built on business and faith. But behind that image, things were falling apart. Martell's secret life with Arionne was starting to catch up with him. Phone calls, late-night messages, suspicious trips. Melody eventually found the truth. And when she did, the perfect facade shattered. The affair became public, and in an instant, Arionne went from being invisible to being infamous. When Love and Marriage, Huntsville exposed Martell's infidelity, the internet didn't just turn on him, it turned on her. Arionne was branded as the villain. Every photo she posted, every word she said, was torn apart. People didn't care that Martell was the one who made vows. They wanted someone to blame, and she was the easiest target. The insults came fast: side chick, mistress, homewrecker. But the word that haunted her most was concubine. It wasn't just a petty jab. It was meant to strip her of dignity. To remind her that she wasn't seen as a woman with feelings, just a symbol of someone else's sin. For years, Arionne tried to defend herself online. But no matter what she said, it only made things worse. Every time she posted a picture or shared a quote about self-love, she'd get flooded with comments mocking her. Concubine this, concubine that. The word followed her like a ghost. It was almost like people didn't see her as a person anymore, just a punchline in someone else's story. But here's what people forget: while the internet moved on to the next scandal, Arionne was left living with the aftermath. The love of her life was gone. Her name was destroyed. And she was raising a child in the middle of chaos she never asked for. Fast forward to now. Martell Holt is trying to clean up his image. He's talking about growth, fatherhood, and starting over. He's been appearing at events, doing interviews, and showing off his new beginnings. Meanwhile, Arionne has stayed mostly quiet, trying to rebuild her peace off camera. But when the old concubine insults resurfaced again this month after another cast member made a shady comment online, that peace shattered. Arionne went live on Instagram, and this time, her tone was different. She wasn't just clapping back. She was breaking down years of silence. Her voice trembled, but her words hit hard. "Y'all think it's funny to keep calling me a concubine?" she said. "Like I ain't human. Like I didn't have real feelings for that man. I'm tired of it. I didn't ask for none of this." It wasn't just what she said, it was how she said it. There was pain in every sentence, the kind of pain that comes from being misunderstood for too long. Her followers flooded the comments. Some cheered her on. Others mocked her again. But for the first time, her raw emotion made people stop scrolling. It was no longer about the scandal, it was about the woman who had been publicly shamed for almost a decade. And what nobody expected was what came next. Just hours after her emotional live stream, rumors started spreading that Martell had privately reached out to her. Sources claimed he was angry, accusing her of reopening old wounds. Apparently, he didn't want his name dragged back into another headline right when he was trying to rebrand himself. But Arionne wasn't having it this time. She fired back online, saying she wouldn't be silenced anymore. "You had your platform to tell your side," she wrote. "Now it's my turn." That post alone sent the internet into chaos. Fans started digging up old interviews, clips, and even past text messages that Arionne had hinted at years ago. It reignited the entire conversation. Was she truly the villain, or just another casualty of Martell's double life? Behind the scenes, people close to Arionne say she's been struggling for a long time. Not just emotionally, but financially too. While Martell moved on with his businesses and TV opportunities, Arionne was left to pick up the pieces of a reputation she never had the chance to control. Every time she tried to start something new, a boutique, a YouTube channel, a brand, the Concubine comments would flood in. Sponsors backed out, customers disappeared. That word became a weapon that cost her opportunities. In private, friends say she cried often, frustrated that no matter what she did, the world refused to let her grow. "They keep bringing up my past like I ain't allowed to change," she once said. "Like I'm supposed to wear that label forever." And the truth is, that's the part that hurts her most. Because while Martell's image has slowly recovered, hers never got the same grace. He got to talk about redemption and healing. She got memes and mockery. The double standard was painful. He was called a flawed man who made mistakes. She was called everything but a child of God. It wasn't fair, and deep down, she knew it. But Arionne's latest outburst might be more than just anger. Some insiders say she's finally planning to tell her full story in her own words. Word around Huntsville is that she's been approached by 2 production companies interested in a documentary or tell-all special. And while she hasn't confirmed anything, her recent tone suggests she's ready to speak her truth unfiltered. One source close to her said, "Arionne's tired of being the bad guy. She's ready to show people the real her, not the one they saw through the show's drama." But if she goes public, it won't be easy. That would mean reliving every betrayal, every humiliation, and every private moment the world turned into a joke. It would also mean going head-to-head with Martell again, and possibly Melody too, reopening wounds that never fully healed. As her Instagram live replayed across social media, people started looking at Arionne differently. Some felt sympathy, realizing that years of bullying could break anyone. Others thought she was just chasing attention again. But what made this moment different was her vulnerability. This wasn't the fiery, defensive Arionne people were used to. This was a woman who sounded exhausted, emotionally drained from years of being misunderstood. "I made mistakes, yeah," she said. "But I loved that man. And I got hurt too. Y'all talk like I don't bleed like everybody else." That line hit hard. It reminded everyone that beneath the gossip, there are real emotions. She wasn't defending her choices anymore, she was mourning what she lost. In the aftermath of her viral moment, Martell stayed silent publicly. But sources close to the love and marriage, Huntsville set claim he's furious behind the scenes. He reportedly feels that Arionne's emotional meltdown could hurt his upcoming business ventures. One insider said, "Martell's been trying to distance himself from that old narrative. He doesn't want people bringing up the past, especially now." But whether he likes it or not, Arionne's voice has reignited the conversation he wanted buried. Meanwhile, Melody Holt, as always, stayed composed. She didn't comment, didn't post any shady subs, and didn't feed into the drama. But make no mistake, she saw it. Every time Arionne speaks up, it touches a nerve in the love and marriage world. Because no matter how far they all move on, the truth is, their stories will always be connected. What nobody expected, though, is how Arionne's outburst has sparked new conversations about double standards and public shaming. Fans are starting to ask, why do women like her get crucified while the men walk away almost untouched? Why is she still paying the price for choices both of them made? That's the painful reality. In the court of public opinion, redemption isn't always given equally. A man can rebuild, rebrand, and return to the spotlight. But a woman? She has to keep apologizing for the same sin forever. And Arionne's situation is the perfect example. Every time she tries to move forward, someone drags her back into the past. But this time, she seems determined to break free no matter the cost. In her recent comments, she said something that stayed with people: "I might have been the villain in y'all's story, but I'm the survivor in mine." That single line shifted the narrative. It wasn't a plea for pity. It was a statement of power, even if it came through pain. Still, redemption in reality TV never comes easy. If Arionne does decide to share her full story, she'll face judgment from all sides. But maybe that's what healing looks like, facing the same crowd that once mocked you and speaking anyway. Because after all these years, the one thing she's never had is control over her own voice. What's heartbreaking is how her story mirrors so many women's pain. Women who loved the wrong man, believed in the wrong promises, and ended up carrying all the blame. Society rarely lets those women heal in peace. It's easier to call them names than to see their humanity. Arionne may have made mistakes, but she's also endured a level of public humiliation that most people couldn't survive. And that's what makes her latest explosion so powerful. It's not about attention. It's about reclaiming a piece of her identity that's been taken from her. Now, as the dust settles, one thing's clear: this isn't just another scandal for clicks. This is the unraveling of years of bottled-up pain. The woman who was mocked as the concubine is no longer hiding behind Martell's shadow. Whether you like her or not, she's finally telling the world who she is on her own terms. And that's the part that scares everyone involved. Because when a woman who's been silenced for years finally decides to speak, she doesn't just tell her story, she exposes everyone else's. The question now is, will Arionne's truth set her free, or will it destroy what little peace she's built? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure: she's not the same woman she used to be. The pain hardened her. The judgment shaped her. And the label concubine no longer defines her. It's just a word, and she's done letting it hold power. Because in a world that tried to bury her, Arionne Curry is learning how to rise again. Not as someone's secret. Not as someone's mistake. But as a woman finally reclaiming her name.